All right. Hello, everybody. So we're gonna um, start this session now. My name is Kiana Rich. I'm an admissions associate two at the graduate school, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. As a reminder, this session is for international students who have already been admitted and are planning to enroll. If you are an applicant, you're welcome to continue to participate in the session, but we do have an applicant-specific session that we encourage you to register for. I'll drop a link in the chat for those upcoming sessions if you'd like to join those. Uh, so once again, the questions pertained in this session will only cover, those preparing to enroll. So let's go ahead and get started. So today we have our friends in the Office of International Student and Scholar Services. I'll let them go ahead and introduce themselves and share their presentation.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Anna. Hi, everyone. My name is Trong Nguyen. I am Associate Director of the International Student Scholar Services. Me and Rosanna in the office, we handle the incoming students' inquiries and preparing I-20s for them. So I'll let Rosanna introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Rosanna Yolian, and I'm an international student advisor, and I work on issuing I-20s and advising students on different immigration matters.
Thank you. So in these sessions, this is about preparing for your visa and the very initial steps of getting your I-20s, getting your visas, how to prepare for a visa interview, etc., for admitted students. So with that, I'm going to start sharing my screen. And I'll let Rosanna take the lead on this.
Okay, thank you, Trong. So obtaining your student visa and preparing for your life at UA. On your screen, you can see our contact information. You can see our address, our phone number, our email, and our website. We are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. There is a typo here. We used to be open till 4:45. Now we're open till 5. You are welcome to email us at international@ua.edu or call us. And our website is also a very good place to find information you are looking for. So this is a good contact to have. Okay. Website, as I mentioned, has lots of information. So please, if you have any question, of course you can email us or call us, but our website is really helpful to find all questions that you may have. So once you've been admitted to University of Alabama, you will need to obtain a student visa to study, to enter the US and study here. So to obtain a student visa, you first need to get an I-20 from our office, and to get an I-20 from our office, you will need to apply and submit certain documents to receive an I-20 from us. So the process is, once you get admitted, you will need to submit the documents in order to receive I-20 or DS 2019 from our office. What do you need to submit to receive I-20 or DS 2019? And also, if you don't know what's the difference between I-20 and DS 2019, I-20 is to receive an F1 visa. You will need I-20 to receive an F1 student visa, and DS 2019 to receive a J1 student visa. So majority of our students will come here. Overwhelming majority of our students will need I-20 and not DS 2019. I may talk about it later as well if you have any questions. But I-20, 99% of our students will need I-20. To apply for I-20 or submit documents to receive an I-20, you will need to upload your admission letter to our portal, I-20 request form, you see the link on your screens, proof of funding, passport, and current visa documents if inside the US. Our processing time is usually 5 business days, but it can take longer. It depends how busy we are in the season. So some weeks or months get really busy. So once you submit your documents, please give us minimum of 5 days, 5 business days before you follow up on your application. Okay. So deadlines to receive an I-20 for spring 2027, the deadline is December 13, because classes start January 13. For summer 2027, it's May 1st. Usually this is the deadlines are 1 month before classes start, because it takes long time to obtain visa, and we think that 1 month is a minimum amount of time you need to obtain your visa. So approximately 1 month before your classes start is the deadline. You can see those on the screens. So I guess if you have a admission to fall 2026, it will be 1 month before your class start will be the deadline to apply for I-20 for fall 2026. Okay. So I talked about this a little bit, how you choose which one to apply for, I-20 for F1 student visa, or DS-2019 for J1 student visa. J1 visas are typically meant for non-degree exchange programs or government sponsor programs. So if you have a government funding from your own government, or you are an exchange student, then you need a J1 visa. For everybody else needs F1 visa. So you apply for I-20 on the first section of your I-20 request form. You have options to select. What are you applying for? I-20, DS-2019, or if you are in the United States, you will have other choices as well. If you have a visa transfer, or if you are already a student here, you're doing change of level or change of status, then you choose these options. But for most of you, I'm sure you just request an I-20 from outside the US, so you pick the first option. What else do we ask you to fill out on your I-20 application form? Just basic information: your name, your date of birth, your country of birth, home address. If you are in the United States, we will need your address in the United States. So if you are applying for change of status and already in US, you will need to fill out the address in US. If, as most of you will be outside of the US, you just leave that blank. Keep in mind your name should appear on this form the same way as it does in your passport, and the date of birth. In the US, we write month, day, and year. So that's the order we want you to put in your date of birth. Of course, it's not a big deal if you don't, but you know, to do it correctly, just make sure your name matches your passport name, and the date of birth, you have month, day, and the year. Okay. So if you have a spouse or a child, they can join you here while you study. So they will be your dependents, and only spouse and or children count as dependents. So if you have spouse or child or children, you will need to give us their information as well and request for F2 I-20 for them and provide funding for your dependents as well. And funding per each dependent is $5,000 additional funds that you need to show if you have your family joining you here. On your screens, you can see a breakdown of the cost associated with studying and living in Alabama. This is an estimate for some numbers. For the other, some numbers are like tuition is. This is how much the tuition really is. International fees, books and supplies, and housing and meals is an estimate. But health insurance, you have the exact number, how much you need to pay for health insurance, tuition, international fee, about $1,200 for personal expenses. So in order for us to issue you an I-20, we need you to show proof of funding for $56,166. So, and this is an explanation why we want you to show this amount before we can issue you your I-20. Okay. So section 3 of your I-20 request form, we would like you to put your funding information in section 3. So your funding can come from many different sources. It can be university funds if you are on assistantship or fellowship. You put US dollars, UA funds. So if you are not on assistantship, you can use personal funds, family sponsor funds, or any other awards, grants, or any other scholarship. So you can see if you have a sponsor, if let's say your parents are your sponsors, we like you to put the amount of money they are sponsoring you for, and they will need to sign this part of your I-20 request form, section 3. So you will need to ask your sponsors to sign this form as well. If you don't have a sponsor, then you leave it blank. Sometimes your funds can come from many different sources. You can use personal funds in addition with sponsor funds, or if you have an assistantship, but it's not enough to cover your all 56,666, you can supplement your assistantship with showing personal funds or family funds. So this section, we just ask you to give us information on where your payments are coming from. And in addition to this information, we would like you to submit your proof of funding, bank statement, your sponsor's bank statement, or assistantship letters. Some students think that if you got an assistantship from university, that somehow we know about it. We really don't know who is on assistantship until you submit your assistantship letter to us. So, and at the end of this presentation, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Okay. So for students who are already in the US and are studying somewhere else and would like to transfer their CVIS record to us, you will need to complete section 4 of our I-20 request form. So this section is only for students who are transferring their CVIS records from other school, and there is the information what you need to complete, and you have information of our school code that you will need to give to your current institution so they can transfer your CVIS record to us. Okay. Once you submit all your documents and we issue your I-20, we send you these I-20s by email, and this is an example of an I-20, what to look for. Once you receive for I-20, we would like you to check that your name on I-20 is correct, your date of birth is correct, your name is correct, and then you will see your civis ID number, your major and degree level, your program end date, your program start date, UA school code, and I-20 report date, session start date, and as I said, the end date. I-20 report date is the earliest admission date, is when you can enter the US. So just make sure you look at this information, and also there will be some areas left blank, and that's fine. That's at University of Alabama, we don't put passport name, or we don't put any admission number or passport number. So certain areas will be left blank, and this is the main things to look for once you receive your I-20. Okay. And this is an example of DS 2019. If you are applying for J1 visa, you will receive a DS 2019 from us. It's very similar information on DS 2019, your name, your civis ID number, your date of birth, and program start date and end date. Okay. And Trung will cover this. And I'll be happy to answer any questions at the end.
Yeah. Thank you, Rosanna. So what Rosanna went through was, like the financial components that needs to study at UA for a year, the estimated cost for a year, how to complete the I-20 based on your situation. And so if you submit all of the documents to us before the deadline, you will get an I-20 from our office within 5 business days, approximately. And once you have the I-20 or the S-2019, the next step will be to pay your CVIS fee. You can go online at fmjfee.com and pay the fee. Do make sure that you pick the right school code. It is highlighted on the screen right now for both the F1 school code and the J1 school code. Both of these numbers are on your I-20/DS 2019, and we also will communicate this piece of information to you when we issue the I-20 or DS 2019. Once you've paid the CVIS fee, you will then apply for a visa by submitting Form DS 160. You should submit this form online. Department of State has some online visa application page as a template. They have FAQ section, lots of resources to help you completing this DS 160. And now I've heard there are a couple of new questions that you'll see when you're applying for the visa, including whether you have a fear to return to your home country, and what is your plan after your graduation. But you'll see whatever the questions the Department of State wants you to answer when you submit this DS 160 form. If you are a citizen of Canada or Bahama, you do not need a visa stamp, but you do need a valid F1 I-20 or J1 DS 2019 before you can enter the United States. And you have to show proof that you have paid the CVIS fee by showing the receipt. If you have dependent with you, each of the J2 or F2 visa applicant will need their own DS 160 form submitted because they will have a different visa than you. They will need an F2 or J2 visa, whereas you as the main visa holder will need an F1, J1 visa. Okay, so you've submitted the DS 160. Next step is to schedule a visa appointment. And you may or may not have multiple choices when it comes to setting up an appointment. If your country has multiple consulates or embassies, you do want to pick the one with the shortest visa wait time, if it works for you. You can check this information in advance by probably simple check visa waiting times, and there's a link to Department of State estimated timeline on the right of the screen. You can see the estimate or visually how this visa appointment wait time screen look like. It'll tell you at each consulate the visa wait time, the estimate visa wait time for the FMJ, for the B, for the HL, OPQ, etc. So you may or may not choose the one that either closest to you, or you may choose the one with the shortest visa wait time. Okay, do make sure that you have all of the required documents for the visa interview. We have a list of documents you should bring on the screen right now. Your passport should be valid for at least 6 months beyond your period of stay in the US. Your DS-160, the application fee showing that you paid for the form DS-160, your photo. Usually you will submit a electronic photo when you fill out the form DS-160, but if the photo didn't upload or if it doesn't meet the requirement, you may bring one printed photo in the format meet the Department of State requirement. And of course, the I-20 or DS-2019, the CVIS receipt, the admission letter, and proof of funding. So these are the required documents. There's some other additional documents that you may want to bring with you. Those including your transcripts, your diplomas, your test scores, etc., and your intent to depart the US upon completion of the course of the study. Over the past few years, these questions or these kind of document Department of State may be loosey about asking the question, but it has become stricter that you do want to have somewhat a clear plan of what you want to do upon graduation from your degree in the United States. And then how you'll pay the educational, living, and travel costs while you are in the US. And you can also consult with the US Embassy or consulate in your home country to see if they require other documents. Okay, here are some talking point, some important things to remember when you do your visa interview. That is prepared by NASA. Some of the things you want to make sure is that you have strong ties to your home country and residence abroad. For example, if you have a job waiting for you upon the completion of your degree, if you have any property, you have family members, those can be ties to your home country, and make sure that you articulate these well. The interview will be conducted in English. Do speak for yourself and not for others. They are interested in learning about your story, your journey, and your career plan. Always be brief but positive. Answer the question just as you need it. No more, no less. Each of you may only have like 1 to 2 minutes at the visa interview. So be brief, but be clear about your answer, and have your documents and your articulations tell your story clearly to the visa interview officer. Again, some of the country may have different requirements for others. Be familiar with the requirements from the embassy at your country. Employment. So you are applying to come to the US to study. So the primary goal coming to the US on a J or a F visa is to study. If you're asked about plan to work in the US, it definitely should not be your main goal. Now, if you are saying that you come and hopefully can get employed in the US or plan to work in the US, it may not be the best answer to give to the visa officer. Employment, whether it happens or not, it should only be incidental to your study. It should not be the primary goal. And then if you have dependents remaining at home, you do want to explain how they're going to support themselves. Especially if you have been the breadwinner of the family, you are the main source of income. And if you no longer work in your home country and you now study in the US, how they financially support themselves is important to the visa officer, because they may be worried that you will come to the US and work under the table to support your family back home, which is not the intended purpose for the F1 or J1 visa category. And last but not least, always be honest with your answers. Visa officers are trained to detect lies or deception. So honesty is always the best policy when it comes to visa interviews for US visas. So after the interview, some of you may get a normal administrative processing, I should say. The new thing about visa appointments and visa processing is that the US consulates now are required to vet your social media content, and this process will probably take a couple of days to a couple of weeks to process. It's a standard, a procedure. It doesn't necessarily mean that your visa is denied. They just need a little bit more time to vet the information. And they do want to vet out people who support terrorism, and you will be instructed to set all of your social media to public setting. So that is, I would consider somewhat of a normal or standard administrative processing. There's another type of administrative processing where the consulate or the embassies do want to do more thorough background check on you before they can make a decision on the visa, to whether grant you the visa or not. And sometimes if they have doubt about affiliation that you had, or some schools that you went to, or the type of the research that you're doing, they may have concerns and they do want to check out more. Now, there's no way any of us know how long this type of administrative processing will take. If you are unlucky and get selected for this AP or administrative processing, there is nothing that our office or anybody else can do to expedite the processing. The one things that we want you to note is that if this AP processing takes so long, like several months, and now it's beyond the first day of your classes, then you do want to work with graduate school, with your academic department, and with us to defer your admission, potentially your graduate assistantship if you have it, and your I-20. All right, so visa validity. Your visa may be issued as a single entry, is denoted by S, or a multi-entry denoted by M visa. And it may or may not be issued for the full length of the program. So let's say if you coming for a 4-year program for your PhD, and the visa validity is only for 1 year. It is typically normal. Not everyone has a long period of visa validity. The visa is only need to be valid at the time that you cross the border, when you enter the port of entry, right? So as long as the visa is valid when you have the flight to the first port of entry to the US, you are fine. Once you are inside the US, the visa can expire, and it should not be a problem. Once you're inside the US, the I-20 or DS 2019 will govern your stay or how long you can stay in the US. Potentially, with the new rule, we haven't had the official rule yet, but potentially the duration of status rule when it comes out may limit new students to a 4 year of study. There's a potential way to extend it. We don't know for sure, but do pay attention. Once you are inside the US, you want to pay attention that the I-94 or the I-20, which are the two documents that govern how long you can stay in the US. All right, when can you enter the US? So F1 and J1 students may enter the US up to 30 days prior to the report date listed on your I-20 or DS 2019. So when you receive your I-20 or DS 2019, there will be a report date or program start date printed on your I-20, and you're counting back 30 days from that date. That will be the earliest day that you can enter the US, and it is helpful if you need to make arrangement for your flight. To get to Tuscaloosa, we recommend that you take or plan to fly to Birmingham Shuttleworth Airport, and the airport code is BHM. It is the closest major airport to UA in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You may also take flights to Atlanta, which is like a lot further away. But my take on it is that, well, some of the time you save a little bit money on the flight by flying to other city, but you will have to compensate that to paying more for the car ride from Atlanta to Tuscaloosa. Atlanta is about 4 hours away from Tuscaloosa. A shuttle, Tuscaloosa can be reached from Birmingham Airport through shuttle. There are Groomies option, there are Uber and Lyft options. We have these on our website, and we'll also send you the links to all of these other alternative options. Off-campus housing. So for graduate students, you all will be off campus. Most of the apartments will require you to sign a long-term lease of at least 1 year. And it is not uncommon for landlords to require you to pay a deposit equals to 1 month's rent when you sign a lease. And then they may ask you for the first and last month of rent upon move-in. Do make sure that you read your lease term to know what you are signing. All of the lease signing or agreements are legal bound, meaning that you have to uphold and follow all of the terms listed on the lease. This includes if the lease is signed for a year and you want to end it earlier, or you stay longer than the term of the lease without extending it. Those are a violation of the lease agreement, and it can cost you the rental deposit or even more fines. You can visit the off-campus housing resources for renters for more information. Okay, campus and community resources. We have wonderful website where you can visit campus virtually. You can go to visit.ua.edu. You can also learn more about Tuscaloosa, the city where UA resigned in, by visiting the website here on our screen. Visit Tuscaloosa.com. There's a lot of resources and information that you can find out about campus and about our city here in T-Town. Again, this is our website, our operation hours, 8 to 5. We are open by emails, by phone. So if you have any questions, do let us know, and we will respond to your question as soon as possible. We also want to open the floor for any other questions that you have now. But that will conclude our presentation.
All right. I see we've got two questions in the Q&A. One of them is I want to know about the service given by ISSS for pickup and drop off from Birmingham Airport to Tuscaloosa. Can you please explain the whole process?
Yes, we do have the shuttle pickup service the week before classes start. We send out the link to all of you, I believe earlier in the month. And let me look at the date to be more specific. So the airport pickup will be from August 10th to August 14th. And the start to finish is that we will have a trip each day from Birmingham Airport to Tuscaloosa. And it will start picking up from 4:30. That is a one trip. So it's like if you arrive earlier before the departure of the bus at the end of the day, you all can sign up for the bus and we'll pick you up from Birmingham and we'll take you to the bus hub here in Tuscaloosa. The ride is about an hour and a half by the bus. We sent you the link and I can also find the link and send it to you. But you can sign up and once you have the itinerary, like you do know when you are arriving, you sign up for the airport pickup. We'll pick you up and drop you off at the bus hub here, which is kind of like the central location of campus. And from there, you can either have a Uber or a friend pick you up from the bus hub on campus to the apartment or the location that you want to be your final destination on campus or off campus. And
Okay. Please share information about delaying and entering USA if person got visa late. For instance, if visa goes into administrative processing and after 1 or 2 months, visa got approved. So does university allow to attend the program after a couple of months?
I can answer it. If you don't get your visa in time, you should defer your admission. We allow late arrival up to drop out date, which is 1 week after classes start. Is that right? So that's the latest that you should be here. 1 week after your start of your classes. That's the last day to draw out classes. But you can defer your admission and then request new I-20 documents with your new admission letter and start your program the next available semester.
Nigeria is placed on visa ban. What is my option as a Nigerian? I would say the best option now is probably just to try to get your application, request a deferral for your admission. That's probably the best thing to do at this point since you're currently on a visa ban. So what happened with the deferral? You would need to contact your department, let them know that you're thinking about deferring, and then you would need to contact us in the grad school, also on your student application portal. There should be an option for you to select, yes, but I would like to enroll in a future term on your reply to offer. You would need to select that, then the decision will come to us. I will say that if you use the free application week waiver code, those applications unfortunately are not eligible for deferrals, and you would need to make a new application for whatever new term you want it to come in.
Um, I want to share the link to our booking. But it doesn't seem that I have an option to share a link.
It's not letting you share the link. Okay. Let's see. I can copy this and I'll share it with everyone. Let's see. It's not letting me copy it. Let's see. Okay, so there's the link for the airport pickup for the person who asked.
Yes, I did send him the link. So yeah, again, you are free to pick other options, like Lyft or Uber or Bloomy, other shuttle service, but for the free service, you need to be there before 4:30. And we'll pick you up like from the lobby of the airport. Do we have other options? I mean questions.
What is your advice for students who have secured admission, but their country is on a temporary restriction? Would you suggest a deferral till spring 2027 or fall 2027? Uh, Usually fall is your best option. It also depends on your program. Some programs don't even allow spring options at all for admission. So if you were to defer, you wouldn't even be eligible to defer to spring. So a good thing is, again, contact your department, let them know that you're thinking about deferring, why you're thinking about deferring, and then contact us in the graduate school. Again, if you did use a free application week waiver code, unfortunately, those applications are not eligible for deferrals.
Yes. And I want to add that admission deferral is different than graduate assistantship deferral and it's different than I-20 deferral. So once you defer, you will need to work with all three offices or departments to get the deferral process complete. So you work with Kiana or UA graduate school office for your admission. You work with the academic department where you got the assistantship offer if you have them. To defer or explore the whether you can defer your assistantship, and then to our office to defer your I-20.
There any other questions? If there are no more live questions, there were some pre-submitted questions that we could be able to go through. Let's see. What graduate assistant positions are available? Okay, so for that, you will need to contact your department in particular. Some departments don't offer any sort of like assistantship positions. Some do. Some consider you for it upon your admission. Some require you to fill out a form for it. So the best thing to do is just contact your department to see if they have any openings available and how their assistance process is. There are also external assistantships that you may be able to get. Occasionally, you can find those kind of positions on the student job portal. And I can put a link in the chat for that if needed. Let's see. But yeah, the best thing to do is to contact your department to see what their availability is for those assistant positions. Uh, can you please tell me the exact location where I'll be dropped in Tuscaloosa from the airport so I can tell my friend the exact location to pick me up? Um, I don't know if there is a exact destination location. Is there? Because
What's the question?
they wanted to know the exact location where I'll be dropped in Tuscaloosa from the airport.
It will be at the UA bus hub. I think the name for it is, you know what's the official name uh, of the one that close to North Lawn and all that? But your friend or your student will know the bus hub is where all of the UA buses park over there, and there's a huge parking deck there. It will be in front of it. Let's see if I can find.
Looking for the name of it. Is it the?
Really, it's called the bus hub. Or they can use the address of UA Act Card office or the parking permit office. It's in the same building.
Got another pre-submitted question. What is to be expected as common expenses and budget for living in Tuscaloosa? I don't know if you guys can field that question.
Yeah, I think Rosanna went over the estimated expenses per year. Rosanna, you want to go over that again? The estimated expenses for a whole year.
Sure. So just we estimate that you will need, let me get the paper so I can be exact. So other than paying your tuition, international fees, health insurance, we estimate that you have to pay around $700 for books and supplies. Well, housing is, we estimate it to be 10,800. Meals about 5,610. Those are estimates. It can go over or be a bit below, but this is what we estimate. And personal expenses and travel, 1,200. If you look at your I-20 request form, you will see on page 4, you will see the breakdown of the costs that add up to a total amount that we ask you to show when you apply for I-20. But the first month, it's probably better to have more money than because of your rent and the deposit. So once you get here, just you may have more additional costs in the first month than you will in the future months. But please look at the page 4 of your I-20 request form.
Oh yeah, it's and again, all of the numbers are estimated. Some students, travel more or eats out more, it will cost more. What we're giving out is an estimate. So that would be a good baseline for you to budget to attend UA.
What are the job opportunities for the summer and what is the tentative pay scale? So if you look in the chat, I've sent a link to the student job portal. We don't know for certain, but you'll have to look there to see any available summer positions. and they should give an estimate about how much they're going to be paying there. Okay. Any other questions? Is there an opportunity to defer one start date if I fail to secure funding for my department? And what is the right channel to do this? So again, if you go to your application portal, uh, there's a section called reply to offer. If you select that, there should be an option. It should be the last option that says, yes, I would like to enroll in a future term. That's how you would request the deferral. Again, contact your department first, make sure just to let them know that you're planning to defer, why you're planning to defer. And I would also say, also make sure that they would even have funding for whatever term you're planning to defer to, because you still might end up in the same situation if you defer and you're only eligible for one deferral. Um, and again, if you have used a free application week waiver, unfortunately, those applications are not eligible for deferrals at this time. Okay. All right. Are there any other questions? All right. Well, if there are no further questions, I think we can end the session here. Thank you all for being here today. Um, I'll post the grad school email in the chat. So if you have any questions after the session, you're more than welcome to email us and we'll answer those for you. I see Christopher, if you have a question, please put it in the Q&A and we'll answer it from there. Yes, we do have similar sessions. I can post another link to upcoming sessions, uh, upcoming Grad Connect sessions, uh, so that you can sign up for that. And also, this session will be recorded and it's likely going to be on our grad school, UA grad school YouTube page. Are there any graduate ambassadorship positions available and how do we apply for those? Let's see. I can send a link to our grad ambassadors page. Give me just a moment. Okay. So there's a link to more information about our graduate ambassadors. That should be able to help you get more information about that and learn how to apply for one. Let's see. We also have the beyond fellowship or assistantship. Is there any scholarship opportunities available for international students? Where can I find the info? So I'm going to post a link into our chat for our paying for graduate school webpage. This lists pretty much all the opportunities, funding opportunities that we know of for paying for graduate school. I'll put that in the link in the chat there. All right. And I think we'll call the session here. Again, this is likely going to be posted on our YouTube page if you want to come back and review any information. And I've also put the link to the grad school email in case you have any sort of questions after the presentation. All right. Thank you, everybody, for attending. We'll end the session here.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.